In combat sports, athletes are able to showcase their physical prowess and reveal their indomitable spirit and unwavering determination. Get ready to witness the raw power of human emotion in the fighting ground as we bring you some of the most emotional fighting moments. Daniel Cormier, a standout among UFC fighters in his generation, has never shied away from expressing his emotions openly. However, it was at UFC 214 that Cormier truly revealed the depths of his soul, making for a remarkable and sympathetic moment. Following his second defeat at John Jones' hands, this loss's impact was far more devastating than their initial encounter, which had concluded via decision. The antagonist had emerged victorious, leaving Cormier utterly shattered. Overwhelmed by his emotions, Joe Rogan's post-fight interview with Cormier was undoubtedly challenging to witness, his tears flowing freely as he uttered the poignant words,
"If you win both fights, there is no rivalry, so..."
It was a sorrowful acknowledgement of defeat from an aging wrestler-boxer who believed that time had overtaken him, delivering a brutal viewing experience for those who rooted for Cormier. While Chris Weidman's initial victory over Henderson Silva could undoubtedly be considered a contender, their second encounter stands out as one of the most shocking moments in the history of the UFC. Silva, who once seemed light years ahead of his competition, experienced a brutal descent back to reality. The sight of his leg break was utterly gruesome. What appeared to be an intense leg kick from Silva met Weidman's cheek, resulting in Silva's shin snapping sickeningly. The image of his limb flailing beneath him remains equally disturbing even today. Witnessing a man once regarded as unbeatable reduced to such a fragile state was horrifying. Although Anderson would return to the octagon a year later, it's evident that he was severely impacted as a fighter. The clash between Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo was a pure classic. Finally, Scarface would face off against one of the world's finest fighters. Yet, despite expectations, nobody could have foreseen that Conor would dispatch the featherweight king with a devastating knockout in 13 seconds. The aftermath undoubtedly left Brazil, Aldo's birthplace, awash in tears. His remarkable journey from rags to riches had captivated the hearts of a nation, making McGregor's swift KO blow an emotional dagger to the core. But the actual weight of the moment came into focus during the aftermath as Aldo cradled his sorrow, weeping into a towel in the corner of the octagon. At the same time, the jubilant new champion reveled in his triumph. Leaked footage of Aldo's emotional collapse, seated on the floor, legs crossed, Aldo appeared inconsolable, his team encircling him with empathetic support. It was truly an emotional sight. Despite not always portraying the most relatable image, Anthony "Rumble" Johnson managed to amass a legion of new fans upon his return to the UFC in 2014. He diligently reconstructed his reputation as a formidable light heavyweight fighter, triumphing over years of torment caused by grueling weight cuts. By the time UFC 210 arrived, he'd been riding a remarkable surge, amassing a series of knockout victories that rivaled the best in the organization's history. This impressive run earned him a second shot at a title against Daniel Cormier, who had previously submitted him 2 years prior. Once again, Rumble faced defeat, but the true sorrow unfolded during his post-fight interview. Fatigued, shattered, and vanquished, Johnson offered no excuses for his loss before scanning the surroundings in search of his team. With desperation, he asked, "Where are my coaches?" Yet, Henry Hooft and the others had already departed for the backstage area. Moments later, Johnson surprised the audience with an unexpected retirement speech. His voice quivered several times as he reached the end of his address. He was genuinely alone this time, without any of his team. This came after the coaches were absent after the fight, as they were very frustrated with Cormier's stubbornness. In a heart-wrenching tale, former UFC middleweight warrior Josh Salmon departed this world in October 2016, leaving behind a tumultuous and agonizing final 3 years after the tragic loss of his girlfriend Hailey Beavis in 2013. Understandably shattered by the devastating event, Josh found solace in channeling his anguish into his return to the octagon. Following a healing period, Salmon seized the opportunity to enter the ring for the monumental UFC 181 event on December 6th. Why? It had to be that date because it was supposed to be Hailey's birthday. From this alone, you can already tell it would be an emotional and challenging ride. True enough, Josh struggled in the first round as opponent Eddie Gordon asserted control for extended periods. However, in a breathtaking twist, Salmon delivered a thunderous head kick in the second round. Gordon was instantly knocked out, and Josh, overwhelmed with emotion, let out a cathartic roar into the camera, exclaiming, "I love you, Hailey." It was a moment of release, a moment of closure. Dan Henderson, a decorated fighter with numerous titles and accolades across multiple weight classes, showcased his immense skills and power throughout his career. Hector Showweather Lombard, a bodybuilder and Olympic judoka, possessed a similar one-punch knockout ability. On June 4th, 2016, at UFC 199, these two grapplers collided decided in what was advertised as Hendo's farewell match. In an intense slugfest, both fighters traded heavy blows, knocking each other down multiple times in the first round. As round 2 commenced, Hendo delivered a thunderous right roundhouse head kick to Lombard, who absorbed the strike but clung on to Hendo's leg. Undeterred, Hendo unleashed a rare reverse elbow strike to Lombard's temple, resulting in a knockout and a few ground strikes for good measure. In front of his hometown crowd in Inglewood, California, Hendo delivered an emotional farewell speech, revealing that his entire family, including his children, witnessed one of his fights for the first time in his extensive career. Expressing gratitude, Hendo thanked the MMA fans for their unwavering support. He then shared heartfelt moments posing for photographs with his family and team inside the octagon. Alpha Cat Zingano, a former flyweight and bantamweight champion in various organizations, showcased her exceptional skills in wrestling, BJJ, and Muay Thai. Her opponent, Maisha Cupcake Tate, a former UFC and Strikeforce bantamweight champion, relied heavily on her wrestling and submission grappling abilities. The clash between Zingano and Tate occurred at the Ultimate Fighter 17 finale on April 13, 2013. The lead-up to the fight was marred by controversy as Tate's boyfriend allegedly delivered a sneaky elbow to the back of Zingano's head during a UFC promotional event. The fight was intense as Tate used Zingano's face as support to stand up after the second round in a display of disregard for the rules. Surprisingly, the in-fight referee did not issue a warning and instructed an enraged Zingano to return to her corner. Determined and fueled by her anger, Zingano came out like a true alpha in the next round. This came in a series of knee and elbow strikes, and soon enough, Tate was brought down and the referee had no choice but to stop the fight. This legendary fight between Zingano and Tate marked a significant moment in women's MMA. Zingano made history as the first mother to compete inside the octagon and became the first female fighter to win a UFC fight via knockout/technical knockout. Unfortunately, this remarkable moment also carries a bittersweet element. It was the last time Zingano and her estranged husband, Mauricio Zingano, would partake in their traditional post-fight celebration, wherein Mauricio lifted her on his shoulders to celebrate her victory. Tragically, Mauricio died in what appeared to be a suicide on January 13, 2014. Retiring at 28 in 1977, George Foreman made a monumental comeback a decade later, with a burning desire to etch his name in boxing history. His ultimate goal was to become the oldest heavyweight champion ever seen in the sport. Foreman achieved the impossible on November 4, 1994, at the astonishing age of 45. Facing the formidable young talent of Michael Moore, who was 18 years his junior, Foreman found himself trailing on all three scorecards. However, in a jaw-dropping turn of events, he unleashed a dramatic 11th round knockout, shattering expectations and accomplishing his long-awaited goal. This remarkable knockout victory surpassed Jersey Joe Walcott's record and crowned Foreman as the oldest man to hold a legitimate world title. That fateful night, he claimed the WBA and IBF titles, adding further glory to his illustrious career. One tragic incident that shook the boxing world occurred on July 1, 2019, during a bout between Maxim Dadashev and Subriel Matias. The fight happened at the MGM National Harbor in Oxon Hill, Maryland. Dadashev, a talented Russian boxer with a promising career ahead of him, faced Matias in a super lightweight contest. The fight was fiercely competitive, with both fighters displaying their skills and determination. However, as the match progressed, it became evident that Dadashev was in trouble. Matias relentlessly attacked, subjecting Dadashev to a barrage of punches. Despite his bravery, Dadashev began to show signs of fatigue and distress. Concerned for Dadashev's well-being, Dadashev's trainer, Buddy McGirt, decided to stop the fight after the 11th round. Dadashev, visibly weakened, was immediately taken to the hospital for medical attention. Tragically, it was revealed that he had suffered a severe brain injury during the bout. Despite the efforts of medical professionals, Dadashev's condition worsened, and he succumbed to his injuries on July 23, 2019, at the age of 28. The incident served as a sobering reminder of the inherent risks involved in combat sports, the importance of fighter welfare, and the ongoing pursuit of making combat sports as safe as possible for its participants. That's all for today's episode, folks. If you enjoyed watching, leave a like and share it with your friends. You can also comment and let us know what you'd like to see from this channel in the future. Also, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. You'll want to check out our other videos. Stay tuned for more awesomeness. Thanks for watching.